A quiet developer tool launched recently, and 6 months later, it hit $1 billion in annualized revenue.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Right. By February of this year, 2026, it crossed 2.5 billion. That is just the kind of staggering growth that completely reshapes
Oh,
industries.
that sounds like.
But what does a solo operator actually do with a tool that powerful? I mean, they don't just code faster, they completely rewrite the business model of an agency.
It forces a total rethink, honestly. Because when the tools change this drastically, the old ways of just selling your time well, they just break.
Welcome to this deep dive. Imagine you are trying to navigate this totally new landscape. Today, we are exploring a fascinating guide called the Claude Code Era, Building a 2026 AI Agency.
Ugh.
Our mission here is to understand how one person can realistically hit enterprise-level revenue and do it with absolute calm.
Yeah, and the journey to get there is pretty revealing. I mean, we really have to look at why the chaotic agency model of 2023 finally collapsed.
Right, the wreckage.
Exactly. And then we can explore how a flat fee retainer became the new gold standard. Plus, we'll break down the exact foundational system needed to run it.
Which is crucial.
Totally. And ultimately, we'll see how scaling to $20,000 a month requires just 4 clients.
Let's ground this in the present reality first, though. Claude Code is clearly dominating the market right now. I mean, the numbers in this guide are just wild.
The adoption rate is unlike anything we've ever seen. Business subscriptions quadrupled in the first few months of 2026 alone.
Wow.
Yeah, and it is not just hype. Developers actually prefer it.
Well, the pragmatic engineer just surveyed 15,000 developers, and Claude Code walked away with a 46% satisfaction score.
Which is a massive signal.
It really is. It's double the score of Cursor, and it is 5 times higher than GitHub Copilot.
Right. Most developers might just pay their monthly fee to ship their own code faster. But this guide reveals a much deeper opportunity.
You can turn that tool into a massive multiplier for other businesses.
You really can. But to understand why this works now, we kind of have to look at the old model.
Yeah.
The AI agency model from 2023 was just brutal on the operators.
It seems like the foundation was fundamentally flawed back then. I mean, everything was a massive custom build. We're talking $10,000 to $40,000 for a single project.
Oh, easily. And early AI tools were incredibly unstable. So you would promise a client a $40,000 system.
Right.
Then unexpected bugs would just eat hundreds of hours of your time, and your profit margins just vanished overnight.
Yeah, I still wrestle with prompt drift myself, just watching an AI lose the thread of what you asked.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
Prompt drift. When an AI slowly stops following original instructions, it makes you wonder how anyone trusted those early tools for enterprise work.
That instability created immense pressure. Because when you charge a massive upfront fee, those sales meetings become so heavy and stressful.
Yeah.
Every single delivery feels like a high-stakes test. And it completely alienated smaller businesses who just couldn't risk the capital.
It sounds like there was no repeatable process at all. Like every project was a bespoke nightmare.
Yeah, agencies were constantly hunting for the next big whale to survive. But Claude Code changed the underlying physics of development.
Right. It collapsed the time needed to deliver real working systems.
Exactly. Because you can prototype so rapidly now, a founder doesn't need a huge team of specialized developers.
One skilled operator can build and test versatile workflows entirely alone.
Yeah, one person just outbuilds an entire 2023 team.
Yeah.
And because building the actual code is easier, the value of the agency has shifted.
So if I'm not the one spending hours writing Python scripts anymore, what am I? It feels like we are moving away from being the bricklayers.
Yeah.
So is the agency's job basically moving from bricklaying to building inspection?
That is a brilliant way to frame it. The raw coding is handled by the tool. Your value is in strategic selection.
Mm-hmm.
You audit the business to find the highest impact use cases. You focus heavily on quality control and oversight.
So we're moving from typing code to managing quality.
Yes, absolutely. But here is the critical pivot. Because the technology allows you to build so incredibly fast now, the old pricing model breaks.
Right. Charging a small business $40,000 for a one-off build makes absolutely no sense anymore.
No, not at all.
It feels almost predatory when you can build it in 3 days.
Exactly. The delivery cost has dropped so drastically that it finally fits perfectly inside a flat monthly fee. That is the retainer revolution.
But historically, agencies lost money on retainers. The clients would ask for too much, and the delivery costs would spiral.
Well, that was true when coding took weeks. But Claude Code makes the math work cleanly. The recurring fee structure is suddenly highly profitable.
And clients vastly prefer this new arrangement, right?
Oh, totally. It lowers the barrier to entry. They avoid a massive upfront capital drain. They
Yeah.
just pay a predictable monthly operational cost instead.
Plus, they get a dedicated AI partner out of it.
Right, because their internal needs change constantly. Now they can request new small automations without renegotiating a heavy contract every single time.
Wait, let me push back on that a bit. Won't clients just cancel the retainer once the main stuff is built out? I mean, why keep paying every month?
It is a really common fear. But businesses are living organisms. Small needs keep popping up constantly.
Like what?
Well, an API changes, a new software tool gets added, or a workflow just needs a tweak. They rarely evolve in big leaps.
Small needs keep evolving, making an ongoing partnership essential.
Exactly. And agencies benefit immensely from this rhythm. Unpredictable cash flow kills most small agencies.
Right.
A monthly retainer ends that anxiety entirely.
The guide uses a really interesting analogy here. It compares this AI agency model to Design Joy.
Yeah, Design Joy proved that treating creative work like a flat fee queue works beautifully. You treat AI automation the exact same way.
So the relationship runs on a steady rhythm of requests, not constant sales negotiations.
Precise.
That sounds ideal in theory, but delivering that smooth partnership requires a serious engine. If you're on a retainer, you can't be starting from zero every single week.
You cannot. And this is where most solo operators fail. The guide lays out rule number 1 very clearly. Do not start building immediately upon signing a new client.
Resist the urge to just start coding.
Right, you have to install the foundation first. The guide calls it the AI operating system.
Okay, so what does that actually look like?
Well, this step determines if your next 12 months are calm or chaotic. You set up a dedicated Claude Code workspace first. It acts as the central brain for this specific client.
Because you have to give the AI context. Without context, it produces generic, unhelpful outputs.
Exactly. So you link the workspace to the client's tools and their internal data. You run a very specific setup protocol.
Okay.
You point the AI at their internal documentation folders. You feed it their actual customer support tickets from the last 30 days.
You even upload their brand voice guidelines and previous marketing copy. Whoa, imagine feeding an AI a month of support tickets, and instantly it knows the business better than a new hire.
It is a profound shift in onboarding. The AI instantly identifies the top recurring issues.
Right.
It learns the exact tone the customer service team uses. It flags contradictory information across different internal documents.
So it builds a deep working profile of the company.
Yeah. And once that context is locked in, every future automation you build is exponentially faster. It already knows how the company speaks and operates.
But does spending a whole week just reading docs waste precious time? I mean, the client is paying you to build things, right?
It seems like it, but no. Front-loading context saves massive time on every future build.
Okay, that makes sense. But you still have to prove your value quickly to justify that first monthly check.
You do. That is why you must ship one key use case in week 1.
Just one.
Just one. You find a visible, annoying problem in their workflow, you solve it while the broader AIOS is still syncing.
That makes the retainer feel real. The client sees a tangible result immediately. After that first win, how do you actually manage the day-to-day requests without it turning into chaos?
You implement a strict request queue. A simple Notion board is usually the best tool for this. You give the client 3 columns.
Backlog to start and published.
Right. So they just drop their ideas into the backlog column. It acts like a buffer between their brain and your workload.
It stops those late-night emails.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They can add 20 ideas if they want. You pull one task into the active column at a time. It turns custom development into a calm, repeatable service.
If that delivery engine is running smoothly, we have to talk about the money. I mean, how do you actually package and price this without terrifying a small local business owner?
You need a very clean, simple offer. The guide suggests the base retainer should sit around $2,500 a month.
That covers the initial operating system setup, right?
Yep. It includes that crucial week 1 automation, and then it covers ongoing monthly builds and general support.
And if you have a strong portfolio or serve a specialized niche, you can scale that base price to $3,000 or even $5,000 easily.
Absolutely.
Wait, $2,500 a month for a small local business? That sounds like a massive ask when they're used to paying $50 for a software subscription.
It does sound high if you look at it that way.
So how do you possibly justify that recurring cost?
You don't compare it to software. You frame it against human labor and existing operational costs.
Ah, okay.
Look at the data. 27% of small businesses already pay between $1,000 and $5,000 monthly just for social media management.
So they are already conditioned to spend that kind of money on external help.
Yes, when you position a custom AI system against their marketing budget, the psychology changes entirely.
Why is anchoring this specifically to a marketing budget the psychological key here?
Because businesses view marketing as an accepted monthly sink. Compared to that, AI return on investment looks incredibly tangible.
It becomes a familiar cost that actively prevents costly mistakes.
Precisely. The sales conversation becomes very straightforward. You usually charge a one-time setup fee to install the complex workspace.
Right.
Then the monthly base covers 1 to 3 automated workflows.
And if they need a massive, complex build outside the normal scope,
You just quote a separate project fee. You also add small maintenance fees.
like what?
Well, if you build a complex lead intake system, you charge a few $100s a month just to keep it optimized and updated.
This structure seems designed to grow quietly. Which brings us to the math of actually scaling this agency. If you get that price point right, the numbers get weirdly small.
Yeah, hitting $20,000 a month is not about grinding through volume. It is purely about depth.
$20,000 is just 4 clients paying $5,000.
That completely flips the old agency script. You aren't chasing 20 low-paying clients across a bunch of different industries.
Right, because fewer clients means fewer meetings. You eliminate the massive cognitive load of context switching between 20 different business models.
Exactly. You actually get to focus on doing deep, valuable work. The value of a single account just compounds naturally.
You build a system, then you add a $300 maintenance fee.
Right. You gather real-world data and charge a $500 optimization fee to improve it.
So a $2,500 client organically becomes a $7,000 client over a year. You barely do any extra selling.
You just keep delivering value. But the guide emphasizes that this compounding effect only works if you stick to one specific niche.
Niche focus is everything here.
The lessons you learn from one client must transfer directly to the next. You reuse patterns, workflows, and system templates constantly.
It's like farming one incredibly fertile plot of land rather than running around trying to plant seeds in the desert.
That is a great way to visualize it. Adapting a lead intake bot takes a fraction of the effort the second time.
Right?
You take the bot you built for law firm A, you clone the underlying structure for law firm B.
You just tweak the brand voice and the specific intake questions. But
Not at all. It actually increases the value. The second client gets a much faster, highly robust system that has already been stress tested in the real world.
reusing templates means faster delivery and better results for everyone.
Exactly. But there is a catch.
Oh.
To keep those 4 clients paying month after month, the systems have to be absolutely flawless, and the human employees actually have to use them.
Right. The delivery engine has to be airtight. You need internal systems to manage the work. It starts with automated auditing, right?
Yeah, you need a repeatable way to spot opportunities inside a client's business. You analyze their workflows and find the bottlenecks.
Then you present a one-page pitch to the founder. It takes them 5 minutes to read and approve.
Exactly. That constant surfacing of value justifies the retainer before you even write a line of code.
And once approved, Claude Code drives the automated development. It plans the build, researches the existing code base, and drafts the steps.
But the human operator is still the critical reviewer. You handle the deployment and check for things the AI missed.
Because speed is great, but quality assurance is where retainers live or die.
A broken automation destroys trust instantly. If an AI sends a wrong email to a key client, you lose months of goodwill in 10 seconds.
Wow, so you have to deliberately test with real data. You have to hunt for the edge cases.
Always.
Edge cases. Rare, weird situations that break the normal rules.
Yeah, anything that touches money or external communication needs rigorous human oversight. Good QA is the difference between a calm, mature agency and a chaotic amateur operation.
But the guide points out one final hurdle. The ultimate challenge in 2026 isn't the code.
No, it is training and adoption. You can build a flawless system. It can save 20 hours a week.
Right.
But if the client's team refuses to change their habits and ignores the tool, the retainer is dead.
So what happens when an agency builds flawless code, but the client's team resists using it?
The client perceives zero value and cancels. Lack of adoption kills retainers every single time.
Without human adoption, the best code is basically useless.
It really is. Training has to be a crucial paid line item in your service. Mid-roll sponsor read provided separately.
Let's step back and look at the broader picture here. The timing of this shift feels unprecedented. The arrival of hyper-fast tools like Claude Code didn't just give developers a nice speed boost.
No, it completely inverted the economics of technical services. The old model of heavy, customized builds was just crushed by its own weight.
Right. By combining extremely lean technology with the steady, predictable rhythm of a flat-rate retainer, the solo operator has been entirely weaponized.
You can generate enterprise-level output and revenue, but you do it with absolute calm.
Yeah.
You start with one client. You prove the value in week one. You let the maintenance and optimization stack naturally.
And by the time you sign your fourth client, the financial math is solved. You just focus on deepening the systems for the businesses that trust you.
It is just a remarkable moment to be building things.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope unpacking this guide gave you a clearer view of the landscape today. But before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought to mull over. If a single skilled operator can now automate a massive chunk of a small business for just $2,500 a month, what does the competitive landscape on Main Street look like a year from now?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
What happens when the local mom-and-pop shops have the exact same technological efficiency as Fortune 500 giants? Keep an eye out. The gap is closing faster than we think.